Did you click on this video today because you were wondering how you should be wearing bronzer and blush together? If that's the case, then you probably want to stay right where you are because today's video is going to be all about picking the right shades and how to apply. If you want to know exactly how to be wearing bronzer and blush together and how to apply them, then go ahead and keep watching and I will show you everything coming right up. That was a little like, choppy. We don't want a choppy video. Take 37. Just kidding. It's only take 3. I feel like I'm doing pretty good. Take 3. If you want to know exactly how to be wearing dang. Collectively, what am I even saying? Oh my God. Okay. No. Let's try this again. What am I even saying? Oh, all right. Let's talk about what this video is going to be about. All right. Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel if you've been here for a bit. If you're new, I'm super glad that you are here today. My name is Caron, and my channel is all about making beauty easy for the girl who thinks that she can't. My hope today is that you'll consider subscribing to my channel and even hitting that notification bell so that you can get alerts every single time I upload new videos, which is actually every single Friday. And of course, if you would like to be a part of my exclusive content that goes out to all of my reformed tomboy family, as I have so affectionately named them, then go ahead and click the link down in the description box below and join the e-blast today. I send out emails every single week to those guys. If you're liking all the content that you see on my channel, I'm gonna go ahead and ask that you give this video a giant thumbs up. It seriously helps me out so much. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump into today's video content, which is actually gonna be all about wearing bronzer and blush together, picking shades, and then how to apply them. What I did for you guys is I wrote down a few notes that I can try to help you guys kind of steer you in the right direction on picking bronzers and blushes that actually make sense for your skin tone. And then of course, I'm gonna drop in some clips for you guys of me actually putting on my bronzer and blush together today with a voiceover, not by my husband this week. If you happen to miss that last week, I'll go ahead and link that for you. We had a blast doing that video, by the way, totally just super fun to have him on my channel and count the amount of eyeshadow colors that I used and how many brushes I used. It was a good time. If you didn't catch that, I'll link it like I said, and you can go check it out. We are actually gonna be doing a lot more things together coming up. I guess I might as well tell you guys that. We're gonna be talking about our fitness life. Obviously, I don't even think I've shared with you guys on my channel my backstory, and so we're gonna do that soon, and then we're actually gonna put together a makeup look that he is going to do on my face. I'm going to just turn over the reins to him, give him all of my brushes and palettes, and let him create a masterpiece on my face. So that should be super fun. So stay tuned for that. It's coming at you in a couple of weeks, and I have no clue how it's gonna turn out. And everyone that I know that I told that I'm gonna do this is like, Lauren, you should wear that to the gym. You should wear it out. And I'm thinking, you people are crazy. He's an artist. Yeah, he can draw and stuff, but is he really gonna make my face look amazing? I don't know. The jury is still out on that one, but stay tuned, guys. That's coming at ya. Anyway, let's go ahead and actually talk about the real subject today, as I mentioned. So I got a couple of tips for you guys on how to choose the right blush for your skin. So let's actually start there. I think that that's really important to go over because I have a plethora of blush options. However, there are some that I tend to navigate towards more than others. Let me give you guys a couple of tips that actually might work for you in finding blushes that actually match your skin tone. So the first thing you want to think about is what color does your skin flush whenever you get embarrassed? So I don't know if you can think of something that was like an embarrassing moment for you right now, and then let your face get all nice and blushy, and then like look in a mirror and see what color it is. And then the rule of thumb here is don't go darker than that color. So that's a good rule of thumb. That's one I actually didn't know, and it does make sense because the blushes that I tend to navigate towards are always less dark than my than my flushed tone. So that's tip one. Tip two is going to be actually taking your natural lip color that you are and matching that. That's always gonna suit your skin very nicely if you take the color of your natural pretty lips without any lipstick on and finding a blush that is actually very similar in shade to that. And then tip three is that you can actually always match the lip color that you're wearing, like the shade of like lipstick, with your blush. Now, a key to keep in mind here is like if you're wearing a bright pink shade, like this isn't even the brightest pink that I have, but if you're wearing something like this, I wouldn't recommend going that bright on your face, maybe tone it down a little bit, but if you keep them in the same family, it'll actually look really, really good and complement your makeup look quite well. One more thing about the lip colors. If you are using a red lipstick, you definitely want to go with a lighter color of blush. Especially think about like those really pretty classic looks that were, well, I think they're still popular, but they were super popular a couple years ago where everybody was doing like the super neutral eyes and that winged liner, and then they were wearing a bright lip. Their face with their blush was actually really not nude, but it was definitely more toned down than the lipstick. So you definitely want to make sure that those tones complement each other as well and that it's not super bright. If you're wearing a big bold lip like that, especially in those bright reds or even bright oranges for summer and things of that nature, you actually don't want to take away from what you have on your lips. So tone down your blush just a bit. So that's another tip on the lip colors. So now let's actually talk about bronzers and how to pick those. I feel like this can be a bit of a challenge. I know for me, I had this bronzer color and I wish I could think of the name of it. I feel like it was Aruba or something like that. It was from Sephora. It's Sephora brand. And it was the first bronzer that I had actually ever tried that somewhat worked for my skin. However, and I lived in Missouri at the time, so of course we had like our season of winter, and that was when I stayed more pale, and then in summer I'm always a little bit darker. But there were certain seasons, especially in the winter season, that bronzer was a little bit too warm for my skin. So the first thing I want to tell you about picking a bronzer is that you may actually have to use two different ones, one in the winter and then one in the summer when your skin is a little bit more tan. So let's talk about actually how what the whole goal of a bronzer is. So the goal of actually having a bronzer is to mimic a natural tan on your skin. And it's obviously to add a little bit of warmth to the skin. So the main component here is that you don't want to get something that is way too warm because you're going to look muddy or even orange. And that was my problem. And I've even said this to you guys in a couple of videos. I love Laguna by NARS, but certain times if my face doesn't have just a little bit of color, this can actually look pretty muddy even on my golden skin tones. Most skin tones can actually choose a bronzer that is just a bit warmer than your natural skin tone. The idea is to not go so many shades above that, otherwise that's when it really starts looking super muddy. So you kind of want to take something that has a little bit of a golden undertone, and then like I said, just a bit warmer than your skin tone. For those of you guys that have warmer skin tones, or even my girls of color, let me tell you something. Try a cooler tone bronzer that actually might contrast on your skin a lot better than using something that's warmer, only because you guys have like such beautiful skin tones that something warm like this, or even a little bit darker but warmer, probably won't show up as well on your skin. So try something a bit cooler to help contrast out your warmer tones and see if that finds you a bronzer that you absolutely love. All right, so let me give you a couple of tips that actually will help you on your bronzing journey, just so you can decide how bronzed you want your face to be. If you're looking for just a little bit of a tan, then what you want to do is go about one shade darker than your skin tone. Again, keep in mind, not something that's muddy, but something that actually complements your skin tone. And then of course, if you are actually looking for like this kind of tan glamorous look, which is kind of what I have on today, then you want to go about 2 to 3 shades darker than your skin tone. And again, as I mentioned just a few minutes ago, this is just one of those bronzers that I can't wear all year round. I can get away with it in the summer because I do have a little bit more of a natural tan and a glow on my face from being out in the sun a bit more. On that note, one way to help you actually find a good bronzer is to do a swatch test. And if your face is actually lighter than the rest of your body, then what you can do is actually swatch the inside of your wrist when you're at a store trying to find a bronzer. So what I can do now is kind of show you guys, because my face is, so as you can see, that is several shades darker than my skin tone. And then I've got this one, which pretty much doesn't show up hardly, and that is Chocolate Soleil, which this is one that I use in the winter time a lot when I'm a bit lighter. And let's see, Bahama Mama from the Balm. I only have a little sample here, but this is one that I use too. So you guys can kind of see those differences. So this would be more of like the just sun-kissed, if you will, of that look that I was going for. And this one gives me that like glamorous tan that I have going on today. And then of course what I did too, and you'll see this when I drop in the footage here, but I actually use golds to warm up my skin a lot. These are very warm, obviously, and it came in this little palette that I got. I got this in an Ipsy bag. Gosh, I think I got this last summer actually. But these colors and this bronzer too, this is one that I use for a bronzer, which is similar to, let's see, it's got like gold highlights in it too. You can see it's really warm, but it's a little bit, it complements the NARS really well. So I actually used both of these today. So I think that about covers all of the tips. Why don't we go ahead and drop in the footage of how to actually bronze your skin and then actually put your blush on together. All right, guys, let's go ahead and show y'all how I bronze up for summer. The first thing I did was contour my face, so pre-bronzer, if you will, and I will link you guys a video in the eye above on how I contour my face the different ways. So now we're gonna go in with NARS Laguna, and I'm taking my angled brush from MAC, and I'm gonna go right on top of that contour and just blend those colors in. I'm kind of making the figure 3 motion, and you'll see here in a second as I do that. I'm gonna go on the tops of the forehead and then right underneath the cheekbone, and then here in a second you'll actually see me get right underneath of the jawline, and I'll run that all the way over. So you'll see that as we go. That is how I start to get a really nice, pretty bronze color. And of course, I will not neglect my neck and also pull the hair off my neck, but I will make sure that I get that. Now I'm gonna go in with the Hikari palette that I have, and we're gonna start with that darker bronze shade, and I'm just gonna go again right over that same section that I've already put bronzer on. And we're just gonna make sure it's nice and blended in. You guys know the drill. If you don't think it's blended, keep on blending. That is your life when you are doing makeup. That's just to make sure that we don't look muddy or that we don't look not smoothed out. We obviously wanna look like we have skin. So blend away, and I'm using that same figure 3 motion. If I were to do it all at once, it would just be from the forehead, underneath the cheekbone to the jawline, and that's how it would go. I just kind of break it apart. Then of course I'm gonna go in now with that color and actually bronze up my nose. As I already said in this video, I love the look of a sun-kissed nose, and I do that a lot in the summertime when I bronze. I just think it really looks like you've been out in the sun for the day and just looks really pretty. So now I'm gonna take those 2 golds and I'm gonna mix them together, and then I will put them exactly on top of the other colors. I will put them on top of it and a little bit above, so it almost creates a little bit of a highlight because I haven't gone in with any blush yet, but I am wanting to create a little bit more of a bronzy look, but that also has some shimmer to it, and these golds are really vibrant. So I'm going light, but I am putting them a little bit over the color and on the cheekbone. And then of course, the nose and the Cupid's bow. Of course we highlight those areas, and I'm gonna highlight them again after I get my real highlighter out. But you guys know I'm big on those areas. I like them and think they should be very highlighted. This is the color of blush that I'm using today. I'm gonna use a fluffy brush to put it on. And I believe I spill it out everywhere. Yep, way too much, and it just falls all over my makeup table. Story of my life. So I'll just use what's in the lid, tap off the excess of course, because it is a lot. And then I'm just gonna apply my blush right on top, kind of above that bronzer a little bit, and then kind of work it into the bronzer. So that way, again, it's like a sunset. You guys know that's how I describe everything on here when you're talking about blending. Sunset it there, even on your cheeks. Make sure that your bronzer, blush, and any contour blends in together. We'll finish up with highlighting one last time with this champagne pop, and then we are done. All right, welcome back. I hope that footage helps you guys and showed you just a little bit of the way that I actually like to bronze. This actually for me was a summer bronzy look. Again, I think I've said a couple times in this video, I actually changed the way that I bronze and how much I bronze depending on the season. And in the summertime, I like to be all up in your face with that tan glam. So that is kind of what I do throughout the summer. So I hope that helps you guys out a lot. All right, so the question of the day for you guys, are you more of a sun-kissed bronzer, or are you more of like a glamorous tan kind of girl whenever you put on your bronzer? And then of course, let's maybe ask 2 questions here. Do you do both? Like if you do both, when do you do them? Answer that down in the comments. I would love to hear from you guys, and of course chat with you down there. That's where all the conversation happens, because again, I've said it a million times, I'm talking to nobody until somebody watches this. So please connect with me down in the comments below. That's why I ask these questions for you guys, just to get to chit chat with y'all a little bit. All right, that's gonna be a wrap for today's video. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope this really helps you out on your bronzing and blush journey. I know it can be a little bit of a pain in the butt to try to figure this stuff out, but I promise you, once you learn just a few of these tips and tricks, you actually get a lot more comfortable and confident in going to pick out things for yourself. Trust me, it's been a journey for me, but I promise you that's what happens. If you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe or also follow me on social media, please do that. My very end card will roll out all of the social media places that you can find me. I would love to connect with you there. And of course, tag me in your recreations on your looks. I absolutely love that. And I will even list all the products that I used in the video today in the description box so that if you want to test them out yourself, you have a place to go to find them. Until then, I will see everybody next week on this channel. Of course it's on this channel. You guys know that. #ReformTomboy family. I'll see y'all next week.